Jackson. He is HLN's legal analyst and criminal defense attorney. Also with me here in Baltimore, criminal defense attorney Mark O'Mara, who represented George Zimmerman in the Trayvon Martin case. He's joining us from Orlando, in fact. And also here in Baltimore with me is Cheryl Dorsey. She's a retired Los Angeles police sergeant and a member of the National Coalition of Law Enforcement Officers for Justice. Good to see all of you.
Good to see you.
All right, so Joey, let me begin with you first, because I mentioned there is both relief as well as there is some reserve. There are many people that we heard from the city who are excited about the idea that there have been charges brought, but there is reserve because anything can happen between now and potential trial. What do you see as the road ahead as it pertains to these charges?
Sure, Frederica. Well, just breaking it down, remember it's an indictment, and what an indictment is an accusation. That says two things. One, there's probable cause to believe that a crime was committed, and B, that these officers committed it. Now, with it being an accusation, it's part of due process. What does due process mean? Notice and an opportunity to be heard. And at some point, the officers will be heard through their defense counsel in terms of what their defenses are. But I think we're going to learn a lot as we move forward, Frederica, about police regulations, about police rules, and about issues we call negligence and recklessness, and just breaking it down. I think what they'll talk about is what generally you should do if you're an officer, if someone needs medical assistance, how you would tend to them, what duties you have to provide for the appropriate care of prisoners that you transport. And I think it'll be a pretty significant issue here, because they're not talking about, when you look and analyze the charges, that there's real intent to kill him. But if you look at the highest charge, the driver, for example, there's a charge of second-degree murder. Many people, Frederica, are questioning why that's the case. Well, it's the case because the assertion is that he acted with such depravity of human life. Someone is screaming, I need medical assistance, I need help.
Yeah.
And what does he do? The prosecutor will say that he went and he picked up another prisoner as opposed to tending to him. And so I think we'll learn about depravity. We'll learn about what we call criminal negligence, which is carelessness, the failure to act when you have a duty to act. And finally, we'll hear about recklessness, and that's the conscious disregard of life when you know a life is at issue.
Okay, so Mark, I'm